Hey everyone, trying a live today once again, but I've got a really important and often very emotional topic that I would like to talk about today. So if you're a parent who's wondering about tongue and lip tie, you might have had a procedure done on a child. You might be wondering if you should be having that procedure on a child. Um, You might know friends that have done it. You might just be pregnant and already hearing about tongue and lip ties. So I really want to start talking about this more openly with you. So, like I say, I know this can be a really emotional topic because there's so much confusion in the professional world about these topics. I really feel for you parents who are confused or getting conflicting information about this topic. So I'm just going to start today by just sharing some of my thoughts and experiences and information. And I just want to start the conversation. And one of my biggest concerns is that there are tongue tie support groups on Facebook that are very, very one-sided. And I will tell you right now from personal experience and the experience of others that I know, that if you go into these groups and say something that is different from what the support people want you on the page to be saying, your comments are often deleted or you are blocked from the pages. I am scared by this because this is blocking freedom of speech and freedom of choice. The best way to make decisions for your children is to gather all of the information and then make the best decision for you and your family and your children. We cannot expect you to do this if people running groups are not allowing people with differing opinions to speak up. So I am here to speak because no one can delete things off of my page. So, yes, there are differing opinions. And so I'm going to start straight away by saying I absolutely believe that there are times when a tongue tie needs to be clipped. And I'm not going to go into lots of details about what a tongue tie is. There's a piece of skin that attaches your tongue into your mouth. It's called a frenulum. There's a piece of skin that comes under here, attaches your lip. Okay, those are your frenulums, and this is what's being cut either with scissors or with lasers, right? And I am not denying by any stretch that these should not be done sometimes. I absolutely believe they should be, and many of us have fought to get them recognized as something that does cause problems, especially with breastfeeding. I am a lactation consultant, so this is my biggest concerns are around breastfeeding. And that's my area of expertise, breastfeeding. So I can speak about how tongue ties will cause problems sometimes with optimal breastfeeding. I cannot speak about speech and feeding solids and all of that stuff, although many people that I talk to that are professionals with different expertise than me say that it's very rare that those are truly caused by tongue ties. Problems with speech and eating food might sometimes affect children, so I'm not denying that they don't sometimes, but there can also be lots of other underlying reasons if there are issues with those things. But I can't speak about that, so I'm not going to speak about that. I can talk about how it affects breastfeeding or not. And so I've told you that I believe in tongue tie as something that can affect breastfeeding, and I will tell you right now that for the most part, I really don't believe that lip tie can affect breastfeeding. Like I say, I'm specifically talking about breastfeeding here. That's all I'm talking about. So it's very rare that a lip needs to be clipped and that it actually makes a difference. And some people will dispute that quite strongly. But this is a very new thing that we're experiencing. And I caution you to take in information and really look at all the different viewpoints before you make these decisions for yourself, your children, your babies. The other thing that's concerning to me is the stretches that people are often talking about doing on babies many, many times a day after procedures have been done, and they'll say these need to be done, or you'll have regrowth. That this is not a cut and dry rule. Every different professional is going to tell you a million different ways and how many times you need to stretch. And I'm very concerned about how this is being approached with parents. I'm very concerned for parents who are being made to believe that they have to do these things several times a day and that their babies aren't going to like it, but that they're actually doing them a favor. I actually disagree. I've seen for myself babies that get oral aversions and things happening. So I don't believe that we need to be doing the stretches. I think we need to be feeding our babies. They stretch their tongues when they cry. They move their tongues when they feed. The jury is also out on whether craniosacral therapy or osteopathy helps these children. I tend to leave that in the mother's decision. If you want to try something, if you think it works. Personally, I've had things done on my own body that have helped, and I've had other things done on my body that haven't helped. And, so this is another part of it. So as you can see, I could go on and on and on. This is just my introductory video to get you to understand kind of what page I'm on and where my concerns are around these tongue and lip tie issues. And I want to tell you right now, it's hard as a professional to speak out. And isn't that telling you something? If I, as a professional, am worried about speaking up on a topic, and we should not be afraid to speak up about anything if we have concerns. So I am sharing right now, I have concerns about what is happening, and I want to hear your stories, positive and negative, because there's lots of negative stories that are being quieted, meaning procedures that didn't go very well, babies that were very unsettled, things still took weeks and weeks and weeks to work out as far as maybe breastfeeding was concerned, and which makes me wonder why was the procedure itself given the credit for solving a problem with breastfeeding if it took weeks and weeks and weeks still for it to resolve. So yeah, I think we need to start having these discussions a little bit more openly with a little less judgment of everybody. We need to just calm down a little bit, and we need to spread both sides and everything in the middle. I don't want to hear just one side of a story and make my decisions based on that. We need to really be thinking about every side to this issue. We are talking about doing a procedure on a baby and creating a sore in their mouth. I have seen horrific pictures of babies and young children that have had horrible results from these procedures. So please don't think of this as having no risk. This is cuts into babies' mouths. So we never should take that lightly. Yeah, but some people want you to. I would really love to hear what those of you out there, whatever you're thinking and feeling about this. I also want to say just one last note, because I am a lactation consultant, and like I say, breastfeeding is my side of this tongue tie issue, that there is positioning that many people are not doing. It is a semi-reclined position with baby fully frontally onto mother. It works like a dream. I don't see one client that I don't talk to about this, and I have very, very good results with using these positionings. And I don't know, I don't experience, most of the clients coming into me have not tried these positions, and they haven't quite got it worked out. So we need to understand breastfeeding better and get help from people that can actually help us and understand what works best. So like I say, I see a couple of people there. I can't see who you are, but thank you for joining me. I'm going to keep up this conversation. Please comment below if you have anything to say about this, and I will be back on shortly again talking about it here.